The question 16, it is about line segments. It's the first in the writing part, and it's from module 10.3. Here we have been told to find the variable, that is whatever the variable is there in the question, and the line segment, that's yz. If y is in between x and z, let's draw a line. Imagine this is the 2 points, x and z, and y is somewhere in between. I'm not sure where exactly it is. Now they have given us the dimensions. xy is 11 and yz is 4 times c, and xz is 83. This 83 is the total xz. My diagram is not at all to scale. You can see this total is 83 and this much is 11. Doesn't make sense, but I'm just drawing the scale figure which is not up to the scale. Now y is in between these 2 points. So this segment and this segment, when we add up, will be the total length, isn't it? So what we can do is we can write the step 1. Step 1 is find variable. Finding variable. What is the variable here? It is the variable c. How do we find? We have to write the formula of the segments. That is xy plus yz will be equal to the sum. That is x and z. Now we can just substitute. What is xy? It's 11 given over here in the question. Plus yz, it's 4c. That is equal to 83. So let us just solve for c. 4c, let it be over here. It's going to be 83 minus 11. And then 4c will be equal to 83 minus 11 is 72. And now c, both the sides divided by 4. That will be 72 divided by 4. C, it'll be 20. 20 minus 2 is 18. That should be the answer for the variable c. 72 by 4. Now the step 2 over here would be finding, what is the term? That is yz, the segment yz. Yz is given in the question to be 4 times c. And what is it? That is equal to 4 times 18, isn't it? This bar suggests it's a line segment. Now when we substitute the value, we do not need to write this right now. Okay, if we are using the congruence symbol, then we generally write it. Okay, but you can just put it over here. Here it's not required because I've substituted what is yz exactly. It's up to you. Now here 4 times 18, it's 72. Why? Because we just divided 72 by 4 and got 18, isn't it? So it's 72. So that's the answer. 2 steps. This and this, very important. These steps are also very important. Please do write the steps because it's in the writing part. Now you can also solve it in the calculator just from the substitution step. Here all you need to do is type this out to check the answer. 11 plus 4 times c. You cannot put in the calculator. You can put the variable x instead of c. That's the unknown variable. Equals is alpha equal to 83. Shift and solve and then press equal to. The answer is 18. And that's it. So this will be the answer. Now you can solve any of these steps and you will get the same answer. So that is how we solve it over here. You can see it's 18 and 72. Similarly, you can solve the other problems. The line segment remains the same, only the variables change. Okay, these things change. And even over here, the variable, this remains the same, only these substitutions will change. And over here as well, only this part will change. So it is pretty simple, right? It's the same thing. Now make sure you're solving it accurately. Look into the question. Sometimes it may not be in the order x, y, y, z. No, they might jumble this up. So see what is the line segment. Y, x and y. Where is x and y? If it might be the third term. See properly what is given and then write it at 6b here. Plus, what is y and z? It is 8b. That is equal to, it's 175 in this case. So that's the substitutions. And then you solve it up. 6 plus 8 is 14 here. That is equal to 175. So 14, I mean, that's going to be hard. So we'll use the calculator over here. This is 14b. And over here, what about this? YZ is given as 8 times b. Once we get the value of b, we need to substitute over here and solve it. Let's use the calculator here. We need to take the 14 to the other side. So it's going to be 175 divided by 14. that is equal to 12.5. 22 by 5, 2 is 12.5. So here the step would be 175 divided by 14, that is 12.5. Now you have to multiply this here, 12.5 is 100, I believe. Let's just check. Yeah, 80 times 80 plus multiply it with 8. Yes, it's 100. So that are the answers. You can just check the answers over here. As simple as that. So make sure you solve all the other problems here. Some of the steps are remaining same because it's the same question. It's just that you need to solve according to what is given to you. In your exam, it may not be the same terms. It can change, it can be ABC, something like that. Make sure you do the right substitution and solve it up. Here on, I would suggest you to solve these problems by yourselves, but I'm going to solve all these anyways. If you want, you can check the answers, but I would highly suggest you stop it, solve them yourself, and then look into the explanation. So here, what do we have is 7 times A, and then 5A. We have to add them. That is equal to 6A plus 24. 7 plus 5 is 12 times A. That is equal to 6A plus 24. We have to group the A's together. So take the 6A to the other side. It's going to be 12A minus 6A equals 24. That is 6A equals 24. And A is equal to 4. 24 divided by 6. What about over here? It is 5 times A, isn't it? So it's 5 times 4. And here you go. Answer is 20. What about the other term? Now here, let's just check the answer. It's 4 and 20. All we have to do is we have to just change it up over here and this over here as well. So that is it. So what do we have over here? 5.5 plus 2C is equal to 8.9. We need to solve for C. That is 8.9 minus 5.5. So it's going to be 4 and 3. It's 3.4 is 2 times C. Now 34 by 2 is 17. So it's 1.7 is C. So that is the answer for C. But we need to find YZ, that is 2 times C. So 2 times 1.7 is 17 times 2 is 34 or 3 point. Here it's the same thing. Okay, so that is the answers. So here we go. It's 1.7 and 3.4. Similarly, please do solve the others. Here, I'll just go through the solutions. We have to add x, y, and y, z. Why? Because y is in between x and z. And when you add them up, it'll be equal to xz. So substitute all the values. That's 5n plus 2n equals 91. Add them up over here. The left side, 7n equals 91. 91 is 13. 7 times 13 is 91. And same thing, once you find the n, substitute back over here and you can get the answer 26. Similarly, do this over here and then you can check the step-by-step solution that's over here. Left side we get 10 and right side. Now here, I'll just solve this one. I'll directly, we know the formula, I'll just substitute. What is it? 4w plus 6w equals 12w minus 8. So this is going to be 10w equals 12w minus 8. So usually what we do is the variable, we try to keep it positive. So we have to follow a rule. What is the coefficient of w over here? 12 and over here 10. Whichever is bigger remains. So this is bigger, so this remains here. The smaller one changes its side and changes its sign. So plus 10 becomes minus 10 when it moves over here. And this number moves to the other side because we group the numbers in the other side. Now 8 is equal to 12 minus 10. It's 2w. Divide both the sides by 2. You will get 4 equals w. And what is yz here? It's 6 times 4. That is equal to 24. So the answer is 4 and 24. The answer is same, just the method over here. We have negative and then changing the negative. We can avoid that step by just following the simple rule. The coefficient which is bigger remains, the smaller changes. Now, just in case, if this was minus 12 here, then the bigger number is 10 because positive numbers are bigger than negative numbers, right? 10w. So then this moves to the other side and it becomes plus 12 and we can solve it like that. So the answer is over here. And let me just do the last problem. This is the last one. Here again, we need to write all the rules, steps and everything. It's this plus this is equal to xz. So it'll be 11d plus 9d minus 2, that is equal to 5 times d plus 28. So here we have 20d minus 2, this is 2, 5d plus 28. Now what happens? Of course 20 is bigger than 5, so it'll be 20d minus 5d. This moves its place and the sign changes. Here minus 2 to the other side will become plus 2. And here we have 30 and over here we have 15d. So divide both the sides by 15, we will have d is equal to 2. 15 times 2 is 30. And it's not over, we have to substitute it back in this equation. What is yz? 9 times 2 minus 6. 9 times 2 is 18. Sorry, it's not 6 minus 2. My bad. It's 2 here. So 18 minus 2 is 16. So that is the answer. And that is how we solve it up. So make sure, look into the question, what is given to you, what variables are given, substitute it accordingly, and easily you can solve this up. The question 17 is locating points on a coordinate plane. And this is from the module 10.6. Yeah, this is pretty simple. We have to just remember one formula and then it's very, very easy. But before going to the formula, you have this coordinate A and B is given. We need to find x, which lies on this line AB, which is 1/5 of the distance from A to B. So from A to B, this is very important. A is the first point, second point is B. That means this is x1, y1. And over here we have x2, y2. And 1/5, that means if this AB was like this and it was say 5 in total, 5 meters or something, 1/5 would be 1 part out of 5th. So this will be 1 after 1 centimeter or any unit of length. That would be the point. But here we do not know exactly because it's not a straight line and it's coordinates. Rather than finding the distance and everything, there's an easy formula. We can find that point x easily by this one. The first point, what is that? x1 plus the ratio, we can write it as a by b, and second point minus the first point. That is for the x-axis, and for the y-coordinate, the same thing, you just have to write it as y. y1 plus a by b, y2 minus y1, here we go. Now do the substitutions. Here we have minus 5 plus a by b is given as over here 1/5. The ratio 1/5 of x2 is here 2 minus of minus 5. y1 is minus 5 plus 1/5, and we have 9 minus of minus 5. And we can just put in the calculator and find the answers. That is fine because you have done the formula, substitution, and the answer. That is what you will be graded for. But I'm just going to do it here without the calculator. It's 1/5. 2 minus of minus will be plus 5. That is 7 over here. And minus 5 plus 1. This is 7. 7 times 1/5 is 7 by 5. Now we have to have the common denominator. Here will be minus 25. 5 times 5 is 25. Plus 7. And this is going to be minus 18 divided by 5. 3.6, right? Yeah, 3.6. Negative 3.6 is the answer. You can just use a calculator. See, this couple of steps is enough. After substitution, one step is more than enough. Use your calculator, directly jump over here. Here as well, minus 5 plus 1/5 of minus and minus becomes plus. 9 plus 5 is 14. And we have 14 by 5 and negative 5. So again, we have minus 25 plus 14 divided by 5. This is going to be 10, 11. 11 by 5. That's minus 11 by 5. It's 2.1, 2.2. And it's negative. So this minus 2.2. That's the answers. So you don't need to do all these steps, but if you want the exact thorough method in writing, these are all the steps that can be done. Now here from this step or from this step itself, you can solve it in calculator, which I'll show you now. All you have to do is minus 5 plus 1/5, 1 by 5. As it is over there, just use the proper notations. That's bracket 2 minus, open the bracket, minus 5, close the bracket twice. The answer is negative 18 by 5 or minus 3.6. So that's how we do it. Even over here, you can just see, even you can avoid some brackets. Say this bracket is, now it's 9 minus 5 even gives you the answer, the same answer. But it's always good habit to put the brackets, because when we're writing, the brackets are important. Because if you write this minus 5, it's incorrect, to write. So that's how we solve it. So here we have minus 3.6. This takes, okay, now we got the answers. Please write this point x is located, x and y, right? Minus 3.6 comma minus 2.2. So that's the answer. Similarly, please do solve the others by yourselves. You can pause it, try this, and then you can continue watching. Now it's R to S. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. Now let's substitute in the formula. It's x1 plus a by b, x2 minus x1. And over here, the second coordinate, y1 plus a by b, y2 minus y1. The substitutions would be minus 4 plus 1/6. That's the ratio given here in the question. And we have x2, that is 2 minus of minus 4. Now when we simplify this, it's going to be minus 4 plus 1/6 of, it'll be positive, it's 6 over here. So 6, it's just going to be 1 minus 4 plus 1, and that is minus 3 here. That is x coordinate of the point x. X coordinate would be equal to minus 3. What about the y coordinate? Just substitute the values. It's 2 plus 1/6 of minus 2 minus 2. Why minus 2 minus 2? Because here y2 is minus 2 minus y1. It's just 2. And that will be 1/6 of minus 4. Over here it's 2 times and 3 times. So we have not plus, it's going to be minus, because it was minus over here, 2 minus 2/3. So we can write this 3 over here common, 6 minus 2. So it's going to be 4 by 3, or it's going to be 1.333. It keeps on recurring. So it's better to leave it as 4 by 3. So the answer will be minus 3 comma 4 by 3, or 1.333, and you can put some dots, 3 dots. Okay, they have written in fraction. Now you can leave it like this. This is absolutely correct. Now if you want to write in mixed fractions, so what happens is 3 1 times 3, and 1 is the remainder, 1 by thirds. Oh, yeah, that's the answer. So here we go. Similarly, the last problem in this, it's again from, you should just focus on these points, j to k. So j becomes x1, y1. This is x2, y2. I'll directly do without the formula, but you guys have to write the formula, both the coordinates and everything, and then solve it properly. So it's minus 1 plus, it's 1/3 over here. x2 is 5 minus of minus 1. And we have plus 1/3 of minus 1 plus 1 plus 5 will be 6 multiplied by 6, and minus 1. So 1 times 2 times 2 times 1 is 2. So it is 2 and minus 1. The answer is 1 here. What about the next case? Here it is y1, that is 4 plus, ratio is 1/3 of y2 is minus 3 minus 4. And that is minus 7 by 3. And over here it's plus 4. So let's write 3 over here. 4 times 3 is 12 minus 7. So we have 5/3. So 12 minus 7 is 5 by 3. We can write this in improper fractions. That's 3 one time, and 2 is the remainder, 2/3. That will be the answer. So the point x is located at 1, that is x coordinate, 1 2/3. That will be the answer. So here we go. But even if you leave it as 5/3 or whatever you get in your exam, that is more than enough. That's absolutely fine. This is not mentioned, but if you can, please do write it like that. Before moving ahead, a quick reminder and a humble request. Please do share my channel and my videos with your friends and to whoever that can benefit from it. And I also kindly ask you, if you can hit the subscribe button and like my videos, it would mean a lot. The question 18 is about angles and congruence. It's from module 11.1. Here we have been given this figure, and they have told in this figure BA and BC, the lines, are opposite rays. Now what do opposite rays do? when they're opposite to each other, say like this is one ray and it's having opposite ray, it's a linear line. The angle is totally 180 degrees. Okay, and what next? BH, where is BH? Okay, this part, this line bisects EBC. EBC. So if this line is bisecting, then EBC is this whole thing, right? Where does it bisect? Over here, BH. So this part is equal to this part. Why? Because BH is the angle bisector. Whenever something bisects, it cuts into equal parts. Imagine this was, say, 120 degrees, then this would be 60, 60. So that is the definition of bisection. And over here, BE is bisecting ABF. So EBE, EBA, and EBF are equal. That's already mentioned. So if measure ABE is given over here, 2n plus 7, if this is already given, and EBF is also given, but they're not in terms of values. It's not like 40 degrees or something. There is a variable in it. We need to find the measure of ABE. Okay, this one only. So basically we have to find this. But what do we know between these two? The relationship is that they both are equal or congruent to each other, right? So I can write ABE, angle of ABE, is equal to the measure of angle of EBF, because BE is the angle bisector. They both are congruent to each other. And then what do we know here? This is the step 1. Find the variable. Find the variable. Why do we need to find the variable? Only then we can substitute the variable and find the value of ABE. So it's 2n plus 7, that is equal to 4n minus 13. Now simplify this. 2n to the other side because 4n is bigger. 4n minus 2n, and take the numbers to one more side. Plus 30. This minus 30 becomes plus. This is 20, that is equal to 4n minus 2n is 2n, and 10 is equal to n. So we found n value. Step 2, find the given measure. Find, what do we need? Measure of ABE, that is equal to, the ABE is equal to 2n plus 7, and we know n is 10, so substituted plus 7, it is 20 plus 7, that is 27. You can directly use the calculator and solve it up. No need of so many steps. You can just put this in the calculator and directly jump over here as well, up to you. Even over here the same thing. After this, directly the answer. So this is the answer. They are told to find ABE, and ABE is 27 degrees. So first find the n, and then substitute and find ABE, that is 27 degrees. Okay, now here I forgot to write, it's degree. This is the symbol for degree. It's a degree measure. Angle is degrees. Now the next one, the conditions are the same, the main conditions. It's just that EBH, where is EBH? This is given, and HBC, you can see this over here. They both are equal to each other because BH is the angle bisector. We have been already told that in the question. So now what do? We just have to equate it. Please write all the steps and everything as we had written before. Now I'm going to directly substitute 6x plus 12 equals 8x minus 10. You have to simply solve this up. 12 plus 10 will be equal to 8x minus 6x. That is 22 equals 2x. The answer of x is 11. But that's not over. That's only the first part. We need to find EBH. EBH is given as 6x plus 12, 6 times 11 plus 12, that is 66 plus 12, that is 76, 78. That is the final answer. That is in degrees. The measure of angle EBH is equal to 78 degrees. So here we go. First we have to find x is 11, and then m is for the measure of angle EBH. Next one over here, we have been given ABF. See, this entire angle is 7b minus 24. And ABE is also known. This single part is known, is 2b. That's in degrees. Find EBF. So EBF and ABE are equal. So what do? Is we need to first If you just find ABE, that's enough. ABE, that is equal to EBF. So first step would be getting a relationship between ABF, the total angle, and ABE. It's up to you to write how you want. If, what I would write is ABF, because it's given first, ABF, the angle, is equal to how much? 2 times ABE, right? 2 times ABE. Now, how to understand this? ABE plus its same thing, because 2 times ABE means the total angle, because whatever is there, you add it again. That will be 2 times that's itself will be the total angle. Or another way to remember is, because they are equal, this and this is equal, ABF is bigger. So the smaller must have a coefficient which is bigger than 1. Okay? Or you can write this half ABF is equal to ABE. That is also possible. You just take 1 to the other side, it becomes 1 by 2. That is half. So this is the relationship between ABE, which is half of ABF. That is, ABF is 2 times ABE. Now we just substituted 7b minus 24 equals 2 times 2b. It is 4b at the right side, 7b minus 24. Take this 24 to the other side, 4b to the other side, minus 4b and 7b. It's 3b equals 24, 8, 16, 24, so it's 8. B is equal to 8. And now what do? We need to find ABE first. We can write this. Measure of EBF will be equal to measure of ABE, because they both are congruent to each other. B is the angle bisector. And therefore we can write 2B, that is equal to 2B. 2 times 8, the answer is 16 degrees. So the measure is 16 degrees of EBF or ABE. So 8 and 16 degrees. What about this problem here? EBC. EBC is given. The total away is given. EBH is given. Now it's the same thing, just like what we did just now. EBC will be equal to 2 times EBH. Why? Because this EBH is equal to HBC. So EBH. And then what do we have to find? HBC over here. They both are equal, right? So we can just find EBH and tell that is HBC. Now here let's substitute 31a minus 2. That is equal to, don't forget this 2. In fact, just a while ago I solved this problem, but I forgot to multiply 2 times. And then it was an error. I solved it. I got some weird values. I realized it was something wrong. And then I just cut that part and re-recorded it. So here this 2 is very important in your exams. Please don't forget this 2. Or you can write over here half as well. It's up to you. Now this is 31a minus 2 equals 2 times 4 is 8a plus 90. And let's take 8 to the other side. It'll be 31a minus 8a, and 2 to the other side. It's going to be 90 plus 2. Here we will have 21 plus 2 is 23. 3a equals 90, 92. 23, 46, 46, 50, 90, 90. Yes, it's a equals 4 here. Okay. Now what do we need is, we need HBC. We know HBC and these both are equal. So I'll just solve for 4 times 4a plus 25. 4 times 4 plus 45. Here we will have 16 plus 45. And the answer is 45, 55, 61 degrees. So that is the final answer. It is 4 and 61 degrees. Now let's look at this one. What do we have? ABF. ABF, the whole is given. ABE is given. We need to find the measure. Okay, just like what we did a while ago. So ABF is the total. That is equal to 2 times the smaller angle, because they both are equal, ABE. Now ABF is 8W minus 6. That is equal to 2 times W plus 11. Now what we have to do is first multiply the inner 2, and then you need to multiply the outside 2. So it will be 2 times 2W plus 11 times 2 is 22. Or you have one more way to do it. You can just multiply this 2 with 2. It will be 4, and then 4 times W would be 4W, and 4 times 11 would be 44. Or even over here now, 2 times 2 is 4W and 44. And here it's 8W minus 6, 8W minus 6. Now let's group the variables together. 8W minus 4W, that is equal to 44 plus 6. It is 50 here, and 8 minus 4 will be 4W. W is equal to 50 by 4, that is 12.5. 12.5 times 4 is 50. Now it's not over, we need to find EBF, but instead of that we can just find this one over here. Why? Because they both are equal. ABE and EBF are the same. So 2 times 12.5 plus 11. So here, you can add this up and then multiply it, or you can just multiply both, because I know 12.5 times 2 is 25 plus 22. That is, I just did 2 multiplied inside, and now we know it is 45, 47. Or you can add this up. Here it will be 23.5 times 2, that is also 47 degrees. So there we go, that's the answers. And the final question, I believe, yes, this is the last one, is about EBC. Where is EBC? The total is given, and okay, now here it's interesting. Why? Because EBC is given, this one, and ABE is given. How do we find EBF? We can find anything, because not anything, sorry, we can find ABE or EBF easily because AB is known, right? But how do we find the variable R? If we recall, these rays BA and BC are opposite rays, so the total angle is 180 degrees, isn't it? So let's add this up. EBC, let's add it up. EBC plus ABE will be equal to 180 degrees, isn't it? Now let's substitute what is known. 3R plus 10 plus 2R minus 20 will be equal to 180 degrees. Now let's simplify this. 5R minus 10 is equal to 180 degrees. Let's take the 10 to the other side. It becomes plus 10. And over here we have 5 times R. 5 times R is equal to 190. So it is 40 minus 2 will be 38 here. 5, sorry, not 5. R is equal to 38. Now, what do we need is EBF, but ABE is congruent to EBF. So we know ABE is equal to EBF. So just substitute this as 2R minus 20. And what is R value? 2 times 38 minus 20. 40 times 2 is 80, minus 4 is 76, minus 20, it's 56 degrees. So the answer is R is 38, and then EBF is 56 degrees. Please make sure you write the steps. Don't just write the answer directly. Write the steps. This is step 1, finding the variable. Step 2 is finding the measure of EBF. And over here we have to mention these both are equal. So we find 2R minus 20, that is equivalent to EBF. Now in your exam, the given over here might change. Look carefully what is given and then look in the question and then solve it step by step. Question 19 is about substitution. It is from module 7.2. We have used substitution method and solve these equations. These are simultaneous equations. Now here to begin with, you need to make sure at least one of this equation is in the form y equals mx plus b. This is very, very important. Now here you can see the second equation is not in this form. This is the standard form, x plus y equals c. But this one you can see is in terms of y is equal to mx plus b. So now what we do is, see, this says y is equal to so much. You need to make sure you put this in the other equation, not in the same equation. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It'll be the same thing equal to. You need to make sure, rearrange one of the equation and use it in the other equation. So now this is y equals 5x plus 1. You put it in the second equation. So now since it's writing exam, you can write something like this. Equation 1, equation 2. Over here, substituting, this is the substitution method, substituting. Now, which equation? Equation 1 in equation 2. Equation 1 in equation 2. So what happens is when you do this, it'll be 4x plus, but instead of y now, what you will do is you will be writing 5x plus 1 equals 10. See, all I did is in the second equation, 4x is same, 10 is same, only this y becomes 5x plus 1. Now you can observe here, it's all in terms of x only. You can solve it up now. 4 plus 5x is 9x is equal to, this to the other side will be minus 1. So it's 10 minus 1. 9x is equal to 9, or x is equal to 1 if you divide both the sides by 9. Now what happens? You found x value, you substitute this back into any one of the equation, your answer will be same. But it's easier to substitute x value in the first equation because you already have one at one side and all the others at one more side. We can write over here substituting x equals 1 in equation 1. I will show you even substituting in equation 2, it will be the same answer, but I'll now do it in equation 1. Y is equal to 5 times, what is x value? 1 plus 1. And here y equals 5 plus 1 is 6. So this is the answer. Now what if I put it over here? It's going to be 4 times 1 plus y equals 10. And 4 to the other side will be y is equal to 10 minus 4. Y will be equal to 6. It's the same answer. But you don't need to do this. Only write this one, step 1. And then we have here step 2 to find x and y. So you can write over here find y, x. Over here it'll be finding y. So that's the thing. Or you can just write step 1 and substituting. That is also fine. So this is how we solve it. Make sure you have at least one in the standard form. If not, we have to get this at least one of the equation in standard form and then start solving it. So we'll look into more problems. And now then, because it's writing, just make sure you write the solution. See, the solution is what we have to solve over here. The solution is 1, 6. It's written as x and y. X value is 1, 6. That's it. If you write so much, you will get full marks. Now let's do the next problem. Even over here, see, we can use the same steps. Make sure you remember these steps. Now I'm not going to write in detail, but over here, same thing, substituting 1. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just erase few things because it's in the same order now. See, I'm just going to erase these and I'm going to write it over here. And this is also going to remain the same. And lastly, this one. So here we go. First equation, second equation. Now I'll substitute the first equation in second and you will get 2x plus, instead of y, I'll write 4x plus 5 equals 17. 4 plus 2 is 6x equals, this goes to the other side, it will be minus 5, it will be 12. So x is equal to 2 when we divide it. So once you get this, you can even directly put this in calculator and test your answer. It's up to you. You can use x as the variable x and solve it up. Now you found the x value. So you need to put x is equal to 2 in the equation 1. So y is equal to 4 times 2 plus 5. It will be 8 plus 5, that is 13. So y value is 13. So x is 2 and y is 13. That is the solution. So that's it. You can see it's 2 and 13. Here we have both equations in terms of standard form. That is absolutely fine. You can use any one equation. Now you can substitute this in this or the below equation in the above. The answer will be same. But make sure if you choose this equation, it goes in the other equation. Or if you choose this, it goes down. That's it. Now how do you solve this? I just substitute the first one in the second one. So here, this goes here. It'll be 3x minus 34. That will be equal to 2x minus 5. Or if I put this over here, 2x minus 5 equals 3x. It's the same thing. Now let's rearrange them. 3x is bigger, so I'll leave it over there, but 2x moves to the other side. It'll be 3x minus 2x is equal to 34 to the other side is positive 34 minus 5. It's going to be 29 here, and it's going to be x. X value is 29. What about the y value? Now you substituted any of the equation, this or this, it doesn't matter. But now when I'm substituting it, I'll substitute in the second equation. This was the first one. Second, why? Because it's easier. So 29 times only 2 minus 5. Over here I had to do 3 and then 29, a bit bigger, right? So over here y equals 2 times 29 minus 5. So here 29 times 2 will be 60 minus 2. That's 58 minus 5. The answer is 53. So it's 29 and 53. That's the solution. You need to write the steps in details as I did it for the first two problems. But over here, I've directly solved the answer. It's 29 and 53. You can see this is the solution. Here as well, it's the same thing. I just quickly solve it up. It'll be 3x minus 2 equals 2x minus 5. 3x minus 2x will be equal to minus 5 plus 2. X will be equal to minus 3. And then you substitute it in any of the equation. Y equals 3 times minus 3 minus 2. So it'll be minus 9 minus 2, that is negative 11, that is equal to y. So the answer is minus 3 minus 11. So that's the answer. What about this one? Now here you can see both of these equations are in the standard form, not in the slope-intercept form. So we have to rearrange it and write in slope-intercept form, that is y is equal to mx plus b. So now, which do I choose? See, I'll choose the simpler equation. You can look over here, y, it's all alone. There is nothing, no coefficient. Here you can see 4, 4, 2, but there's no coefficient. So I'm going to choose the equation 1. I'll choose 1 to rearrange in slope intercept in y, this one, y is equal to m. I'm choosing equation 1. Now what happens is 2x plus y is equal to 3 can be rewritten as y is equal to minus 2x plus 3. Now this is the newly formed equation 3 because this is equation 2. Now we will substitute this equation 3, substitute 3 in second equation. You can't substitute this in this first one because then it'll be identity. You have to put it in the other equation. Now use this, got the third equation, so put it in the second one, other equation. So it'll be 4x plus 4 times, what is y? Minus 2x plus 3, that is equal to 8. So now let's solve this up. 4x, now it's plus 4 times minus 2, it will be minus 8x plus 12 equals 8. And here it will be minus 4x. And let me see over here, you can take this all to the other side, but let me just solve it up over here. Let me take the numbers to the other side. It's going to be 8 minus 12, so it's going to be minus 4. Now divide both the sides by minus 4. So this negative negative cancels, 4 4 cancels. X will be 1, positive 1. Now this, substitute the x value, substitute x is equal to 1 in any of this equation. But which is the best equation? I'll put it in the equation 3 rather than 1 and 2. Why? Because this is the best rearranged equation, right? Y is equal to minus 2 times 1 plus 3. Why? Because here y is already in one side and the x is in other side. If I just substitute the x value, I'll directly get the answer rather than over here and solve it, take it to the other side, isn't it? So it's going to be minus 2 plus 3 is positive 1. Even y is 1. So the solution set is 1, 1. Both are 1 and 1. That's the final answer. You can see here it's a 1 and 1. The sixth problem, here as well, you need to get the form, you need to rearrange it to slope intercept form. Now, which one? Or see, you don't just need the slope intercept form, you can even just rearrange it to x equal to. You can follow whatever I thought till just now. Or looking over here, the second equation, I know x is having no coefficient. So how about I rearrange this? Rather than taking y, keeping y and solving it up, I just take this to the other side. So here this is equation 1, equation 2. I'm going to rearrange equation 2 and write x is equal to minus 2y minus 1. Now this equation 3, I will put it in equation 1 because I used equation 2 to get this. I can't put it back in the same one I put it in the other equation. Over here 3, instead of x, what do I have? Minus 2y minus 1 plus 4y equals minus 3. So here it will be negative 6y minus 3 plus 4y equals negative 3. And when you simplify this, it will be minus 2y, and this to the other side will be 0. So y is equal to 0 here. If y is 0, then what is x? Minus 2 times 0 minus 1, x is equal to minus 1. So this is the answer. It will be minus 1 comma 0 here. That's the solution. But how about I do it in the normal form, the slope intercept form? Absolutely, let me do that as well. I will choose the second equation because it's easier. It has no coefficient at x. So what I'll do is I'll write 2y is equal to minus x minus 1. Now I have to divide both the sides by 2. So I'll get y is equal to minus x by 2 minus 1 by 2. I divide all the sides by 2. Now here this is a little bit complicated, right, when you substitute over here, but let's see how will it be. So it'll be 3x plus 4 times, instead of y I have minus x by 2 minus half. That is equal to negative 3. Now let's solve it up. 3x will be 3x plus. Now here 2 is there one time. 4 2 times, same thing, 2 over here. You can take this 2 common outside, it will be just 2. It will be not plus here now, it will be minus 2x and minus, this will be plus. Let me just write it over here. So it will be minus 2x, and this minus and plus will be minus 2 only, because 4 times minus x by 2 will be minus 2x, and 4 times minus half will be minus 2. That is equal to negative 3. And over here, what's going to happen? 3x minus 2x will be x. That is equal to this to the other side will be minus 3 plus 2. That's minus 1. X is minus 1. What about the y? Here, if x is minus 1, y is equal to minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2. So, oh sorry, not minus 1 by 2. It will be minus and minus. It's plus 1 by 2. Here, there's already one minus, right? Minus and minus, it'll be plus 1 by 2. Plus half minus half is 0, so y is equal to 0. And the solution is minus 1 and 0, the same solution what we got. That's it. But it was easier to solve in the first method. Why? Because this can be easily rearranged and we can get the answers. Let's look at the next problem. I'm sure by now you have understood this thoroughly. You can please go ahead by solving these problems yourselves. Only if you have any doubts, you can continue watching the video. Now here this y is already rearranged. I'm directly going to solve it. It's going to be minus 6x minus 2 times minus 3x plus 4. That is equal to minus 8. And over here we have minus 6x minus and minus plus 6x. Minus 8 is equal to minus 8. Now let's take this minus 8 to the other side. Over here, minus 6x, see, this cancels off, and even this will cancel off. If you take it over there, it will be plus 8, and this cancels off. So you have 0 equals 0. This is an identity. Why? Because both the sides are equal, isn't it? This is an identity. Whenever you get such thing, there is no way you can solve this. It is an identity. You can just now here they have written minus 8, but see this becomes 0. It will be minus 8 is equal to minus 8. If you take minus 8 to the other side, it will be 0 equals 0. It's the same thing. Now here this equation is an identity when you get both the sides of equal to same. You can't continue further. Why? Because there are infinite numbers of solution. It's basically the same line, these two. So that is what it means. Let's solve this one now here. So we can rearrange this in terms of y is equal to mx plus b. So let me write it out. 2x minus y. I'll take minus y to the other side. It'll be positive y minus 1 is equal to 2x. Let me take 1 to the other side. It'll be 2x plus 1. That is y. Now y value needs to be substituted in any one of the equation. It'll be 8x minus 4 times 2x plus 1. That is equal to minus 4. And 8x minus 8x and minus 4 is equal to minus 4. Now again we got the same thing, minus 4 equals minus 4. This is also an identity. Again, it's the same issue. So identity, you can see it is either minus 4 or minus 4. You can write 0 and 0. So you get both the sides the same number. It's an identity and x is deleted. So there's no way you can solve this further. Let's try this one. See, over here x is already equals y minus 1. So I'll just substitute this y minus 1 in the below equation. So it's going to be minus, it's the minus for the entire x values, okay? So this is the thing, minus y minus 1 plus y is equal to minus 1. Multiply the minus over here, minus y plus 1 plus y is equal to minus 1. Now here, cancel. But what we are getting, 1 is equal to minus 1. Is this true? Or if you take this to the other side, 0 is equal to minus 1, that 0 is equal to minus 2. Is this correct? No, it's false. So there is no solution. No solution. In such cases, when both the sides are not equating to each other, when they are opposing, in the sense 0 and minus 2 is absolutely wrong, or 1 is not equal to minus 1. So you tell there is no solution here. It's a false statement. That's the reason. Here now y is already given, so I'll just substitute this entire things in the other equation. 3x plus minus 4x plus 11, that is equal to 9. And now it will be 3x minus 4x, and this 11, I'll take it to the other side. That will be equal to 9 minus 11. It'll be minus x is equal to minus 2, x is equal to positive 2. You can just find the x value by cancelling the sides or changing the sides to each other. It'll be positive. Now this x value can be substituted in any of this equation. I'll put it in the first equation because it's easier to solve. And over here will be 2 plus 11. So that'll be minus 8 plus 11. That is equal to positive 3. So y is equal to positive 3 and it's 2, 3. That's it. Now another similar one, you just substitute y value here. It'll be 2x plus minus 3x plus 1. That is equal to 1. And here we will have 2x minus 3x plus 1 equals 1. I just remove the bracket. Plus, right? Only this minus 3x and then plus 1. Here we have minus x is equal to, if you take it to the other side, it's going to be 0. X is equal to 0. So if x is 0, what is y value? It's going to be y is equal to minus 3 times 0 plus 1. So y value is 1. That's it. So x is 0, y is 1. So it's 0 and 1 here. Now here both are in standard form, none of them is in Points law form, but the coefficient in the first equation is 1. So I'm going to use this. So it's not 13, it's 3x. 3x plus y is equal to minus 5. So let me leave the y over here, but it will be minus 3x minus 5. So once we get the y value, we need to substitute it in the other equation, not in the same, because first equation was used to get this. You need to substitute in the second equation. It's going to be 6x plus 2 times, what is y, minus 3x minus 5. That is equal to 10. So we have 6x minus 2 times 3 is 6x minus 10 is equal to 10. Now here it cancels off, but look at this, minus 10 is equal to 10 is wrong. It's another false statement. So here there's no solution. You can't solve this. So here minus 10 is equal to 10, or 0 is equal to 0 equals 20 it would have been, because minus 10 to the other side is plus 10 and 0 remains here. 0 equals minus 20 is also false statement, and there is no solution. Here now, this both are in standard form, but we need to rearrange at least one of this equation and get in terms of x is equal to or y is equal to. I'll use the first equation, just move the y to the other side. It'll be 5x minus 5 is equal to positive y. Now this y value I'm going to substitute in the second equation. Is going to be minus x plus 3 times 5x minus 5, that is equal to 13. And now when we simplify this, it'll be minus x, and over here 3 times 5 is plus 15x minus 15, that is equal to 13. And here this, and okay, my bad, I thought this is also x. It's gonna be minus x plus 15, it's gonna be minus 14x plus 14x, my bad, equals, and this to the other side is positive. It's going to be 13 plus 15, that's 28, and x will be equal to 2 if you divide both the sides by 14. Now that x value is found out, let's put back into one of this equation. So it's going to be 5 times 2 minus 5, and here we have 10 minus 5, the value is 5. So x value is 2, whereas the y value is 5. So 2 and 5. We move to the penultimate problem. So here, let me write this: y is equal to 4 minus 2x. I've just rearranged the above term, and now I will substitute in the second equation minus 2x plus 4 minus 2x equals minus 4. And here you can see it's minus 2x plus 4 minus 2x is equal to minus 4. Let minus 4 to the other side, will be minus 4 minus 4, and minus 2x is minus 4x. So minus 4x is equal to minus 8. We can remove these negative because both are negative. If just change size, they both become positive, and x will be 8 by 4, that's 2. So x is 2. What about the y value? You just substitute it back over here. Y is equal to 4 minus 2 times 2. Sorry, 2x is 2 times 2. I'll just substitute it directly. It'll be 4 minus 4, that is 0. So x value is 2 and y value is 0. It's 2 comma 0. And the last and the final problem in this question is, in this topic of substitution, is another similar problem. Both are in standard form. Let me rearrange. Now you can see both have coefficients. So it's a bit lengthy itself. So let's try solving it up. The first one, I'm just going to write it as 4y is equal to 5x plus 20. That's the first equation which I've rewrote it. And y will be equal to 5 divided by 4x plus 20 divided by 4 will be 5. So then, after we get this, we'll substitute in the other equation, not in the same one. So it's 10x minus 8 times 5/4 x plus 5. And here it will be 10x minus 4 1 times 4 2 times 2 times 5 is 10x, and over here again 5 times 8 is minus 40. So is equal to minus 40 as well. But here you can see it is 10 and minus 10, that cancels off, and your minus 40 and minus 40. Yes, this is true. So this is an identity. So this is the answer. Here we go. This will be an identity. And yeah, you can even take minus 40 to the other side, will be 0 and 0, and therefore it's an identity. Identity means it has infinite solution, whereas if it was false statement, then it has no solution at all. Before moving ahead, a quick reminder and a humble request. Please do share my channel and my videos with your friends and to whoever that can benefit from it. And I also kindly ask you, if you can hit the subscribe button and like my videos, it would mean a lot. In this video, we will learn to graph systems of inequalities. Here we have been given two graphing equations. That's it. They have told y is less than 6, y is greater than x plus 3. You need to graph them. You will be given a graphing grid, and with the lines, you need to put an appropriate scale. So since the values are smaller, you can just go ahead with, scale of 1, 2, 3, and so on. I'll just go here as well. 1, it's -1, -2, -3. Let's go up by 1, 2, 3, and I'll jump over here to 6. And here we have around 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. None of this is to the scale, but you guys have to be accurate enough to put the points at the proper intervals. Now, what would you do for the first equation? There are few ways because it's the writing part. One thing can be done by tables. So which I would suggest is step 1, table of values. And most probably you'll be given a table already. So if not given, just make these values, okay? Equation 1, y is less than 6, right? You just write it as y equals 6. And next equation would be y is greater than, but you just write it as equal to x plus 3. And how do you graph? We have done this before. X and y values, isn't it? A table with x and y. Take some values and you can graph it up. Same thing over here. You can take some values, x and y, and graph it up. Now I'm not going to take many values, just a few, just to understand the points. But here in the first equation, do you have to make a table? You can make a table. There's no wrong in that. But do you need to write the values? You can directly tell y is 6. Where is y? This is the y-axis, right? So in the y-axis, it's 6, whereas this is the x-axis. So what happens is, you just draw a straight line here. It's a line, but not straight or dotted. I'll tell you later. It's just something like this. I hope that's clear. But how would you write the table? Y is 6. So no matter what, you should just write 6 here and just take some random values of x. -3 and say 3. No matter what, wherever you choose x, it will be 6. That's how we get the first table. What about the next table? So here, I will just choose some values. Say -2, 0, and 2. You can choose -1, 0, 1, -3, -2, -1. Many values as well, up to you. I'm just taking 3 values. What happens here? If you put -2 here, you can get it in the calculator, which I'll show in a minute, but now I'm doing it manually. X value will be -2, it'll be +3, it'll be 1. When it's 0, it's 3, and then we have 2, it'll be 5. These are the table of values. Now, how to get it in the calculator? These tables, both of these can be obtained easily. All you need to do is mode and 7 for table. Now type this equation. This is, see, you cannot put y. Y is f of x. Already there. Don't go to put y or something like that. There is y over here. Don't press this. It'll be an error. Only the x is the given variable. But here, do we have anything? No. It's only 6. Y is f of x equals 6. Most of your calculators may not have this option. If you have, just press equal to. Start it at anyway -3. I'll just start -3. I'll end it at 3. Let me give the step of 1. I've not taken all these values, but these are all the values you can get. Everywhere, y value is 6 because the equation is just y equals 6. Now let's go back again, mode 7, and type the next equation, x plus 3. Now let me start it at over here -3, end at 3, step let it be 1. You can see the values at -3 it's 0. What about -2, which I've written over here 1, -1 is 2, 0 is 3, and so on. You can see these values. Now you can write all these values in your exam, well and good, but it just takes time, so I've just chosen 3 values. That's it. What about the graphing now? Here, when x is -2, what is the y value? It's 1. Somewhere over here will be the point. What about the next one? When it's 0, it is 3. This is the point. And when it's 2, it will be 5, somewhere over here. This is not to the scale. That's why it's inaccurate. Now let me just join these points. Okay, that'll be something like that. Now then, look here, inequalities. Y is less than 6. If it is less than, it's always a dotted line. It cannot be a straight line. So in your pencil, you can just put a dotted line. If you have put a straight line, it's fine. Just erase few of the parts or just make sure it's dotted. Or if you have put it in pen, then make sure you write dotted line. At least write something like that. So You have known the thing. It should be dotted when it is less than, because those values are not included, whatever is in the line. What about the other one? Even over here, it's dotted. So just make sure it's dotted line, even in the next case. And yeah, these are the equations. This is y is greater than x plus 3. Now, what is the solution region? Here, all the solution which is less than that. So anything that is below this, and the other line, it's greater. Greater is up above. So it's very simple. If it's less, it's going down, greater is going up. So all I need to do is shade this region, whichever is the solution region, because that is, see, all the points which is below this line and more than this line. So that is the solution region. You don't need to shade so much. You can just put some lines or tell this is the solution region or something like that. So this is how we solve the systems of equation, graph systems of inequalities. Let's look into the solutions. It's done one by one. The first one, this equation at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. Next one is this line, x plus 3. Plus 3 is the y-intercept, and then you can see we have got the same graph here. If you see carefully, that's the answer, isn't it? Now, what is the solution region? All the region which is up above and below, that means this region is the final solution region, which is overlapping from both the equations. So that is the answer. It's just about graphing, so you just write this. This is the solution region. Wherever the ordered pays in the intersection of the graph. Intersection means whichever overlap between this. Similarly, all the other problems can be tried. I'm going to directly roughly graph them. I'll just take one of the graph and I'm just going to graph the next one here. You can see y is greater than or equal to 0. This is the axis. Already one graph is done. And it's straight line because it's greater than or equal to 0. And all the solution region above is the solution. What about the next one? Y is less than x minus 5. You can make the table. Just make the table. Take some points, x and y, minus 3, 0, minus a positive 3, or minus 2, 0, 2, or minus 1, 0, 1. Absolutely fine. You'll get the values. If you substitute here, minus 3 will be minus 8. Then if you have 0, minus 5, and lastly minus 2. These are the values. Or you can also look into the y-intercept. Where is that? Minus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 1 point for sure. And then the slope is 1. That is 45-degree line. You can draw it. Up to you. And now I'm going to do it 3. And it's 2 somewhere over here. So you need to just join these. The line goes something like that. But this is here. Look carefully. Y was greater than. And this is y is less than. So y less than means all this is the solution region here. So there is empty space in the middle. Let's see the final solution. See, you can see this empty space, which is the solution region then, the one which overlaps. In such case, right, you need to extend it. My graph was not extended, but over here you can see this will be the solution region. Why? Because it's less than this equation, all down. And over here, this line, it's all up above. So which is the overlapping? This region is the only overlapping region. So that's how we do it. Even these problems can be solved directly. Make sure you have made the tables x, y, take any 3 points for both these equations respectively, and then you need to graph it up. So here, this is the first equation. If you count it up, it'll be 10 somewhere over here. And then it's a straight line. Why? Because it's less than or equal to. And so it's downwards because it's less than. What about this one? Here you need to graph the other one as well. It'll be somewhere over here. Let's just look. If you make it in the table, it'll be, you will get the exact values. It's over here. Now make sure it is a dotted line. Why is it a dotted line? Because over here it's only greater than. And all the intersecting this middle region is the solution region. Why? Because the first equation, it was less than. That means all below it, whereas greater than, all above it. So this is all the solution region. Here as well, you can graph one. You can see the intercept is at 10 and everything above it is the solution. And look at this, it's at minus 3 somewhere over here and it's a straight line. It's all below it. So these are slopes are same, so these are parallel lines. There is no solution because there's no overlapping region. So the answer would be no solution because all above this line and all below this line, the middle region is empty region. It does not overlap at all. Let's see the answer. See over here. You can see this is all blank. So there's no solution here because there won't be any overlappings. So similarly, please do try the other problems. They are all straightforward. I'll just show through the answers here. They're all basic ones. Here as well, there is no solution because they're parallel lines. There is no overlapping anywhere. Now, here the two graphs. See what happens here is the first one when we graphed, it's from here, all above it. But when we draw the next graph, look here. Now this one is a little bit tricky because I need to solve this. Let me solve it up. The second equation, make sure you have y is equal to mx plus b. Is it in y is equal to mx plus b? No. The rule is whatever is positive, whatever is negative, you can move to the other side. This one goes to the other side. Don't move x. Let 3x be over there. Minus this becomes plus y minus 4 and its sign is greater than. This minus 4 goes to the other side, will be 3x plus 4 is greater than y. But we need y first. So we need to bring this to the other side and this to the other side. Can we just write like this? 3x plus 4 and greater than. No, because it's inequality. The rule is when you're swapping these sides, make sure you swap the sign as well. This is very, very important. So this is the answer. If you're thinking, why didn't we move this to the other side? Okay, it'll be like this. And then minus 3x minus 4, right? Then we have to change the sign of y. We have to make it positive, right? If you're making the sign change, then this inequality flips again. But make sure all the signs changes. Here it will be 3x plus 4. Ultimately, we're getting the same equation. So these are the simplified equations. So the same thing can be written like this. Now this can be used in the calculator by mode 7 table and the points, the table can be obtained. All you need to do is mode and 7. Now type in the equation, not the y. Y is f of x. It's 3x plus 4. And then start it at say minus 3, end it at 3. Step is 1. These are the values. And then you can easily graph it up. Here the second one is just greater, it will be less than. You can see over here it was less than. It's not less than or equal to, it's only less than, so it's dotted line. And less than is down, and over here it was greater than, so it's up. So this middle overlapping region is the solution region. These are just two straight lines which are pretty simple because x is greater than all to the right. Now here when it's a flat line, the right side is greater, left side is less than, whereas it's a flat horizontal line. Up is greater, down is less. So this is it. And we just draw another line at minus 3 over here down at the bottom. You can see. Now all the solution region less than this and right of x. So this is the solution region. Again, we have got two simple lines, y everything is greater, and for x everything less than, that is left side. So this is the solution region. You don't need to write all this. You can just use the mode 7 table, calculate the table of values and write the values and graph it up. Even over here, it's pretty simple. Now make sure about the inequality sign, which will impact your lines. When it's only greater or less than, see, I'm just going to write it. When it's greater or less than, it is dotted lines. When it's greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, it will be straight lines. Even over here, it's similar. When we have just x less than 2 or y greater than 2, it'll be pretty easy, you know, it's just a straight line. And even the table is very simple. Now, what is the table here? So the table of values for the first equation, x and y, the x is, we have to consider this as x is equal to 2. So 2, 2, 2. Just change the y values, say minus 2 and positive 2. So this will be the answer. So wherever you choose, whatever y-axis, the x value will only be at 2. That is what it means. Similarly, over here you can solve it, but make sure you're solving it in the standard form. So what happens here is this equation turns out to be y less than or equal to minus 6 minus 1. This is y greater than or equal to minus x plus 3. So these are the two equations. And then you can use the mode 7 table, make the tables, and then graph them up. Similarly, the last problem here as well, you need to reduce them to the proper standard form. I mean, not standard, slope intercept form. The equations must be in y equals mx plus b. So y alone to the one side, and then x moves to the other side, be plus x plus 4. Y is greater than minus x plus 2. You can make the table from the calculator and then just graph them up. So one slope is going up, one is down, and this is the graph. And whichever is the intersection. See, for the first one, y is greater. So this is the equation, isn't it? Now, yeah, this is the equation, y minus, see, the first one. It's all above this. Whereas this, it's all above over here. So which is the intersecting region? This one, because it's above on both the sides. So that will be the solution region. Here we will solve problems on angle relationships. They have told us about supplementary and complementary angles. Find the measure of two complementary angles. Complementary means it is equal to 90 degrees, whereas supplementary is 180 degrees. How I remember is supplements is something extra or more. Which is more? 180, and the other one is complement, that is 90 degrees. That's a right angle, complementary. If the measure of the larger angle is 5 more than 4 times the measure of smaller angle. So this is it. Let's write step 1. Find the angles. No, let's write name the angles. Name the angles. Or you can write something, denote the angles or something like that. Smaller angle equals x. What about the larger angle? Larger angle here will be equal to, is 5 more than, so 5 plus 4 times the measure of smaller angle, which is x. So this is it. Now step 2, use complementary angle. You can write use complementary angles and find x. So here when we add these up, complementary means x plus 5 plus 4x plus 4x. This must be equal to what? It must be equal to 90 degrees. Complementary is 90 degrees. So we'll solve this up. You need to do the steps here. 4 plus 1 is 5x. This 5 to the other side will be 90 minus 5. So x will be equal to 85 divided by 5. That is the 7. 10 plus 7 will be 17 degrees. So 1 is 17 degrees. So what is the other angle? Now step 3, measure of the angles. Measure of angles. So I'll just write it over here. Smaller angle is equal to 17 degrees. Larger angle, whereas you can directly write it, or you can do over here, instead of putting 17 times, I'll just do 90 minus 17 because we know it's complementary. So 90 minus 17, that's going to be 83 degrees. So this is how you need to write in steps. If you write these 3 steps, you will get full marks in writing. So x was 17. That is over here, the measures are written. So I'll just keep this open. You can write in steps. Step 1, name the angle, smaller angle x and the larger angle depending on what condition they have given. Next, step 2, use complementary angles to find x, because when you add these up, it will be 90 degree because they have mentioned its complementary angles, and then find what is x value. Then find the measure of angles. The smaller angle x is 17 degree, larger angle will be 90 minus 17 because they're complementary, it's 83 degrees. So that will be the correct answer. How about the next problem here? Tangrams. A tangram is a puzzle consisting of 8 flat shapes called tans, which are put together to form images. Find the value of x and y such that AD, where is AD? This line, and EC are perpendicular to each other. If they are perpendicular, all the angles are 90 degrees, right? So that's about perpendicular lines. Now we need to find x and y. Step 1. um, you know Step 1, we can just write, no need of writing anything perpendicular, heading of the statement. Since the lines are perpendicular, this means it's perpendicular, the symbol. Since the lines are perpendicular, the angles formed by the lines are 90 degrees. Because it's writing, even if you don't write it, it's fine, but it's better you write it in detail. Since the lines are perpendicular, all the angles that are cut are 90 degrees. That's what it says. Step 2, find variable. Which one? You can choose y because it's alone, right? Find y. So here it's 3y plus 15 is equal to 90 degrees. Let's solve it up. 3y is equal to 15 to the other side, be 90 minus 15, that's going to be 75. So it's 75 here, and y will be equal to 25. So that's the first one. Step 3 here would be find x. So here we have two equations. Sum them up. 3x plus 10 plus 8x plus 5 is equal to 90 degrees. And here we will get from 15x is equal to, this is again 15, 90 minus 15 would be 75, and x would be equal to, divide both the sides by 15, it's going to be 5. So we got the answers. I remember one of the students before had asked me, why don't we take this as 45 degrees because half of 90? See, what happens is when they have not mentioned something, don't go to do that. Now, in this case, yes, it's absolutely correct. If you put x over here, 8, 5 times is 40, 45. Yes, it works. But don't go to do it because it may not be exactly 45. It looks 45, yes, it might be a little sliding down. It may not be exactly 45. So just don't do one of these values made equal to 45 because it's not mentioned. Look, but they are mentioned, they are perpendicular lines, isn't it? So that is why it's better and safer to make it equal to 90 and solve it out. And we have to just find x and y values. This is it, 3 steps. First step, since the lines are perpendicular, the angles formed by the lines are 90 degrees. Find y. Y is 25 degrees, x is 5 degrees. So that's it. It's in degrees, just make sure you write the units. But we are finding the values of x. It's not in degrees. Sorry, the total final output will be the degrees. You just write 25, it's enough. First one was 25, next one was 5. As you can see here. And that is the end of all the writing part questions. I hope you have found these videos helpful and beneficial. I wish you all the best for your exams. Please do prepare well in advance for your exams. Don't leave it at the last minute. And if you have any doubts, please try rewatching the video or ask your questions in the comments and I'll try to get back to you very soon. And thank you very much for your support for my channel. I'm really humbled by all the appreciation and thanks I receive on the channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you could do me a huge favor, then please do share this channel with anyone who do not know about this and who could benefit from it. And if you can, please do hit the subscribe button and like my videos. It would mean a lot. Thank you very much and bye-bye for now.